What's going on, everybody? It's Moji, the king of the north. I'm here, Tony Teflon, Teflon TV. It's the Nightland Show. We doing it good, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce my main man, the second half of the Batman and Robin team, Tony. People, converse.
Hey, yo, what the deal, man? People, you know who it is, Don Tony Teflon. Sorry, I fucked that up real quick. I had to make sure I had my shit on mute, but it really wasn't on mute the way it should have been. But what the deal, my people? I'm happy to be here. You know the fuck it is, Don Tony Teflon, man. I'm up in here with Mo. I'm ready to get this shit popping. Everybody's had a good time and a good weekend. Good not weekend, but good fucking couple of days and shit since Game of Thrones ended. I have watched it over and over again. When I first watched it and I went on Don Willie shit, my mind was so blown I couldn't even process my thoughts really. But now I have watched it, I've gone through it millions and millions of times, so I'm ready to talk about it 100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the bareback barbarians, the boss hog clique. We done our homework. We did what it does. We watch what we do. And we about to converse on some major topics here, baby. This is the Q&A, Moji Fest, Tony Teflon. We just talking, sitting back. We chilling. It's like being on the porch right now drinking some sweet tea and lemonade, all right? We sitting back. This is the summer rules, ladies and gentlemen. Before I get into the realness, I'm about to ask my main man, Tony, how everything's been, how the week's been. You chilling, bro?
No doubt, you know what I mean? I had a pretty good week. Everything is love up here, you know what I mean? Had a little bit of a little rainstorm. I think everyone got that, you know what I mean? A couple of depressing things happened in the news, but besides that, you know, it's been a really good couple of days for me. I hope everybody in the chat's been having a good couple of days too. Hope everything is right, you know what I mean? The weekend is almost here, so we can all kick back and relax. Just grab a beer, you know what I mean? Answer a couple of questions, talk a little bit of Game of Thrones, you know what I mean? A little love.
Yup. Couple of things in the news, most definitely. And we will be getting in that news, ladies and gentlemen. We will be digging in that tomorrow. Let y'all know me and Tony, another female companion, Lauren Evans, we will be having a beautiful little podcast radio show on our new channel. I'll put it in the description when this video is over. We'll be talking news, pop culture, life, everything, baby. So make sure y'all check that out. If you want more Tony, more Moji, that's where we'll be once a week. Every Friday, we'll try to drop something new and let y'all enjoy it.
Yeah, no doubt. It's like called Street Talk New York. You know, on YouTube, it's Street Talk NY. Me, Moji, Laura Evans, we'll have it'll be a podcast type show. So you basically will not see us when we're doing it, but I'll have all the clips of everything that we talk about on the screen while we're doing it. And just like Mo said, it's about pop culture, black Twitter, about anything dropping in news, sports, fantasy football, anything movies related. We'll be talking about all that. We'll have a lot of bits and everything else going on. So kind of like a little Howard Sterny type situation, but maybe not that X-rated or anything like that. But if you're into anything like that, please, I have it in my featured channel. You can check it out there. You can subscribe to us there. And the first person who does subscribe and hit me up that you subscribe, I will send you an autographed copy of my book with Deontay Wilder and his autograph in it too. Just hit me up, be the first subscriber to the channel, and hit me and tell me that you were, and I got you.
That is serious business, ladies and gentlemen. Did y'all hear that? The man said you're going to get the autograph. You're going to get his handwritten note. This is the serious ish right here. We don't do it no better. Ain't a better team on YouTube. Just wait a minute. Just give us time. We'll blow up. We'll be in the news. Y'all see it. But let me get to what y'all here for today. We talking Thrones, Winds Winter, finale, Jon Snow, King of the North, the whole 9 yards. Oh my God, am I psyched? How'd you feel on that one, man?
Listen, this is a 10 episode. Anyone who says it's not a 10 is nitpicking something. You know what I mean? And listen, there's problems with everything in the world, all right? No boobs are the same. I don't care how perfect they look. This is the way it is. It's the way it goes. So to this, I gotta say it's a 10. If you get nitpicky to pull something here, pull something there, yes, you can drop it a little bit, but why? Why not be appreciative for what it is? You know what I mean? It's gonna be over soon, people. You know what I mean? There's only 15 episodes left. That's confirmed. So once that drops, There will be, hopefully, there'll be no more fillers. And if they do have a couple of fillers in there, 15 episodes, there should be no motherfucking fillers. Period. It should just be boom, 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 and that's it. And you're gonna be so disappointed, just like I'll be when it's over. So you should just appreciate, savor every moment that you get left. And why not have this motherfucking director direct every fucking episode? Why not just pay this man? You're paying all these other directors. Work it out with this dude, bro. Work it out with this dude. You know what I mean? Let's get that popping right there. Work it out with this man. Let him do every goddamn episode of Game of Thrones.
Yes. This show was an 11 out of 10 on Don Willie's show, back-to-back weeks, 11 out of 10. Bastard Bo wins a winner. Oh, my God. Let me do that again. 11 out of 10. Oh, my God. This show just hits the sweet spot, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said earlier, it's like having sweet tea, half and half on the porch on a hot summer's day. It just rocks every spot. I mean, from scene to scene, from ear to ear. They gave me one thing, and the next scene, they gave it to me again. It was just multiple orgasms on a television show I ain't never felt before. It was just beautiful, just everything, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what you want out of a television show. Ain't nothing else out here that could do that. Ain't nothing else that could get you hyped like that. Have you talking about it during the week, after the week, in the middle of the week? I mean, it's all on everybody's lips, and that's what it is. So enjoy it. It's not here for much longer. So it is what it is.
Renee M, if you are the first subscriber, you will get that. That's my word. I swear, I'm gonna check that out. Stay in contact with me. You know how to. Hit me on my Facebook page, and I'll definitely check that out and make sure that you are definitely there. No doubt. This dude in the comment section said that this guy is doing Kevin Cleary said that this dude is doing an Iron Fist, and if that's the case, Iron Fist is going to be phenomenal. I already got high hopes for Iron Fist, and so I can't wait. If this dude is doing all of Iron Fist, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, see, that's shit we talk about on Street Talk New York.
And that's what it is. The T-Baby wants to know what's the name of the new channel, Tony.
It's Street Talk NY. It's called Street Talk New York, but it's Street Talk NY on YouTube. It's on my featured channels on my page.
It's on Teflon's featured channels. When we're done with this, I'm going to put it in the description. Don't worry. You're going to have a listen. You're going to have a looky-loo, as we like to say out here in D.C. I'll give you a looky-loo, T. Don't worry. Now let's step up into this Q&A. I'll give a little synopsis real quick. Let me do King's Landing, and then you jump in, you give us the North, and then we'll double back into Arya. We'll just do a quick little 5-minute synopsis. You ready? You ready, Teflon?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, King's Landing, ladies and gentlemen. We had major deaths all over the board, splatters everywhere. We had Pycelle biting the dust, Tommen biting the dust, House Tyrell biting the dust, Ranger Castamere 2.0, Cersei licking her lips, licking her chops like she just had barbecue after she was done with that one, because that's what it was. It was a barbecue fest. Tripped everybody up. High Sparrow bites the dust. We're led to believe Septa Ornella bites the dust. Remember, Mountain Frankenstein is her god, ladies and gentlemen. We had Cersei with her shoulder pads, looking like Bowser's little brother, looking like a Koopa Trooper, ladies and gentlemen. She looked like straight out of Mario. She looked something wild with that outfit. Damn. What else we have?
No doubt. I love me an 80s looking chick. I love me some shoulder pads in the chick, you know, and some Sassoon jeans rocking ass 80s style big ass hair. So, you know, I like that outfit. I think it's probably the best outfit Cersei's ever been put on. It may be the best outfit they put any woman on in the show, point blank. That outfit Cersei had. And without a doubt, that's the best tiara.
Television.
Yeah, that's the best tiara or whatever in the whole motherfucking show, point blank. Best crown, best whatever in the whole motherfucking show. Exactly.
She looked like she was about to go bareback on a football field with that outfit.
No doubt. And I'm definitely repping Ozzy Man's fucking term that I heard him say it first. So this is his motherfucking term to me of Darth Cersei. I love that term. I'm definitely hashtagging Darth Cersei, Ozzy Man, because that's the dude I heard say it first. And I think that fucking fits 100%.
Exactly. She looked raw, in charge. She looked like she was going to play in a motherfucking football team. So it is what it is. We had a bunch of stuff go on in this King's Landing shit. We had her turn into the Mad King, Cersei, the Queen, the first of her name, the Mad Queen. She just, this episode solidified to me that she is a Targaryen, ladies and gentlemen. She is the Mad King Aerys' daughter, ladies and gentlemen. When she was watching from the balcony at the Red Keep, looking at the burning step, she was having an orgasm, ladies and gentlemen. She was enjoying herself, ladies and gentlemen. There's no question about it. She was getting off on seeing the disaster that was the Scepter Baylor. So that just solidified it for me. What else you want to hit on this high note, Tim?
Yeah, I would like to say that, you know, in this scene right here, we know there's a combination. Now, we're talking book stuff here because this is a book show. You know, we talk book stuff. So if you haven't read the books, I mean, just sit back and listen. You're going to learn something real quick. Now, in this scene, this is probably a combination scene of what Cersei did in the books when she burnt down the Tower of the Hand. This is probably that. And because they do not have Aegon in this scene, they have given Cersei a lot of Aegon's roles right now. So you're seeing a combination character of Cersei and Aegon right now at this particular time. When it goes down, the trial by combat in the books, I still believe that we will get a trial by combat. We will get a trial of the seven in the books. I don't think it'll be the same exact way. We want to see her blow up everybody. I don't think it's going down like that in the books. I think we will get the trial by seven. After we get the trial by seven, and Cersei does win that trial by seven, Aegon will come to King's Landing, and Aegon will take over King's Landing. I said this before in the video I done back in the day, and this is the same thing I'm saying. He will take King's Landing, and Cersei will be forced to flee to Castle Rock. And then Daenerys will come and confront Aegon, not Cersei. But since there is no Aegon in the show, they have given that role to Cersei. So I do believe it will be exactly the same way. Cersei will remain in power. And she still will make Qyburn the hand of the king. It will still go down just like that. Just will have Aegon will be the one to push her out and force her back to Castle Rock.
Yes, yes, yes. It was definitely a combination, ladies and gentlemen. It was like having Kung Pao chicken and Szechuan beef. That's how much combo was up in that joint. You feel me? So that's King's Landing. Let's move to the north. Hit that synopsis, Tony. Let you take the lead on this one.
Well, a lot of shit jumps off in the north here. We have Jon Snow, we have Sansa, we have all the best shit probably in the episode. But before we go over there, I want to really touch on the Arya situation real quick, Arya in the Riverlands. I want to ask you this question before I go to, did you know real quick that was Arya when it first, now I had said before, I knew when I first seen it, and you can ask the person who was watching with me, I said I caught that it was Arya. Did you know right off the bat that this was Arya, or did it not get you?
110%. She wasn't wearing Westerosi gear. I could check from the gear. Teflon.
No,
she was wearing a headband. She had a headband on. Have you ever seen a servant wench in Westeros wearing a headband, Teflon?
Exactly. And this is another scene that was basically taken from the books. They took it. I heard people complain about this and everything else. But, you know, this is something that the Manderleys done. And they moved the Manderley. Even though they had the Manderleys in the episode, this is something that the Manderleys do. And they moved this over to Arya. Now, the fact that they moved that, some people think that it was cheaper or anything like that. I can understand why people do feel like that. The Manderley story is much better. But we weren't going to get that. So I'm happy that they gave it to us in some way rather than omit it, because I think that if they would have omitted it 100% and there would have been no Frey pie, you would have heard a lot more backlash than you hear from a lot of people, not that lot, but a few people complaining that the way they did it. I think it would have been worse for them. So I think they just bit the bullet, and they're going to have some people complain about it, and those people have complained about it. But if they did not do it, they would have fucking heard it. It would have been everybody saying, they should have put it in there. They should have did this. They should have did that. So I'm very happy the way they put it in there. I'm happy with the Frey pod situation. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I jumped the gun. Let's knock out the Riverlands before we do the North. This right here was brilliant. It was everything I could ever imagine and more. It was like having a birthday gift on your second birthday. You get it, but you don't even need it. You know what I mean? This was everything and more. They gave us Arya. They gave us the payoff. I don't care if it wasn't Frey pies. We now know Arya definitely learned something in Bravos. We thought she didn't learn a damn thing. She definitely learned something. She learned how to cook dudes up in pies is what she learned, ladies and gentlemen. She learned how to slice and dice. You feel me? She might be a samurai now. Okay? This was everything, and I needed and more.
No doubt.
I
No
knew.
doubt. She might be nice with the Ginzu blade like that. You know what I mean? But as we talked about in the pregame show, I said there was going to be a time skip. I asked Mo if he thought there was going to be a time skip in this episode, and we got, I believe, several time skips this episode. You know, so I think, you know, a lot of people have problems with the time and everything else. You know, you just have to look at it as time skips, and there's a lot of skips in time that they're doing, and you know, and just not everything is happening at the exact same time that we think they are. I think that's the best way to deal with it. Just think about it like that. It's easier to deal with it, some of the things, but mostly it's just time skips. You know what I mean? Because the various situation, him going from there to Dawn and he's back to Danny, obviously a lot of time has passed because you see Varys is there. And I don't think they intend to think that Varys got there in a day. I think they intend for you to think that a lot of time has passed. She's got her ships and now she's finally gone.
Absolutely, absolutely. They definitely time skipped, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody had that Back to the Future DeLorean up in the back seat somewhere. We had everything we needed in this Arya situation. And let me tell y'all, when Arya was checking out Jaime, when she was checking him out, and people was like, man, she's looking at him to kill him. No, sir. In my opinion, she was looking to make sure if that was Jaime Lannister. Remember, Arya hasn't heard the news of the Kingslayer losing his arm. And if she did, she doesn't know what he looks like now, ladies and gentlemen. Jaime's got short hair. He's got a missing right arm. The last time she saw Jaime was at Winterfell, okay? She saw the golden-haired locked Lannister. She doesn't know what Jaime the Broken Man looks like now, ladies and gentlemen. She might know that this is a Lannister man. He's got a sellsword hand. She's got to see him face to face, and that's what she was doing. She was checking him out. Do you agree with me, or do you think she automatically knew who the Kingslayer was, Tony?
When she looked up at him, I mean, I don't know if she knew exactly, but I just know when she looked there and she did realize it was, Cersei don't care right now. This is Cersei's world, and that's it. This is as high as she will ever get in the books. The fall would be great and severe, no doubt about it. And that's why people say, oh, you know, George R. R. Martin, he doesn't write like everyone else. There's no good, there's no evil. Obviously, we can see the good and the evil and who they are and who the good guy is and who isn't. I mean, it's kind of like professional wrestling, you know, that there's just there's people to cheer for, right? And we know who the author is trying to get you to cheer for and who he's not trying to get. Now, I like Cersei. All right, you can go through my videos, you can see it. I like people like that. You know, that's the way I've always liked Cersei. Now, that's the way it's been. You can see my videos. Go check it out. You know what I mean? I've always repped for Cersei. It's like I've always repped for Stannis when no one's repping for him. I like people that people didn't like. That's just the way I like. You know what I mean? So I hope if it was George R. R. Martin was so unpredictable, he would have Cersei just win this whole motherfucker. That'd be the most unpredictable thing in the world because nobody would ever see that coming, that Cersei conquers Danny and conquers everything and just rules it. And it's not going to happen. But that would be the most unpredictable thing I would ever see.
That would be bonkers. That would be bonkers. You ready to jump over to the up north?
Yeah, so basically in the north we get the conflict, we get Jon Snow and we get Sansa and we get them. Now we had a lot of beef, a lot of discussion over there with Jon Snow and Sansa. Was Sansa right? Was Sansa wrong? And then we get Sansa apologizing. So I really think it's right in between. I don't know if it's a right or wrong situation like that. As I said, it's hard to put yourself in the situation of Sansa at that time. No one's been in a situation like that. No one's ever had that. It's easy to say what you think you would do in a situation. But until you are actually put in that situation, you have no idea. It's like I see these dudes, you know what I mean, and the self-defense training and the black belts and the triple sashes, and they got all this shit. You know what I mean? I never seen the motherfucker try to confront me in a horse stance because you get your ass kicked in that horse stance. All right, it doesn't happen. And I seen these dudes with all that. It don't work. You know what I mean? The streets is the streets. That's just the way it goes down. So when you're confronted in a situation, what you think you want to do may not be what happens. So I think that's the way it went down with her. It's something that people wanted her to react a certain way, and she didn't. They got mad. But I look at her, the way she reacted, I think she was justified after all she's been through to act like that. And then we go right from that. We we get the King of the North, you know what I mean? And Jon being crowned the King of the North. We get LittleFinger trying to come up in there, and we see Sansa playing LittleFinger, and she understands the schemes that LittleFinger is playing, but he has put this, not a seed. I think that anyone that thinks that LittleFinger is manipulating Sansa right in any way right now is stupid. She is not stupid. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that word. Is foolish at this point. She is way smarter than people are giving her credit for right now. She knows this dude's scheme, and she may allow him to think that he is manipulating, but that is not the exact situation. Sansa is in 100% control of the Vale army, without a doubt. You know, so that is the way I see it, and you will see that play out next season without a doubt. And then we get the crowning of Jon Snow, King of the North. Did I see Jon Snow getting crowned? Here comes the King of the North. I did not see Jon Snow, them doing that King of the North thing for Jon. No. I did think that Jon was relevant in a way as of being a king of winter and recognized as a king of winter. I had a video on that, but I did not think they would ever just stand, kneel, and hit the knees and start saying that. That was great to see. You know what I mean? It was probably one of the highlights of the whole series, and this dealing with that, you know, it kind of ties into the birth of Jon. We finally get to reveal that we all knew that R+L=J. I really had people hit me up and tell me R+L=J. That's my theory. I called it. Teflon. Really, people have hit me up and told me that. So I'm glad. So thank you for that guy, for y'all who predicted that. But, you know, I think that I really would just like, in all honesty, I'd like to give the thumbs up and a big cha to all the people who came up with the theory that R+L=D and went on the limb to go out there and really put themselves out there. It was a bold theory. It had a lot of strong points to it. And I think that it was really ballsy for a lot of people to put themselves in a situation where it looked like most likely you were going to be wrong, and you were. So everyone who did do that, you know, bravo for y'all doing that. And that's what the fandom needs, people to investigate and debate. That's the motto of Teflon TV, baby.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The North is cold. The North is cold, ladies and gentlemen. The chef's up north. The cold winds are rising. And Jon Snow is baby Jesus, ladies and gentlemen. The Tower of Joy had me feeling when that baby opened its eyes like he was God Almighty. Okay? The music, the music, the music. I can't reiterate how much the music was so crucial in this episode. Had me having the feels all over. I feel like the King of the North speech was good, but I would have wished they would have crowned him King of the North when he beats the White Walkers. I'm impervious to my man Robb Stark. You know me, I'm a Robb Stark man. God rest his soul. They just snatched the title from him, gave it to Jon. I feel like beating the Boltons should not be a King of the North moment. I feel like the King of the North moment should be, if you ever going to give that crown off of Robb and give it to somebody else, it should be when the long night comes and the man takes out the Night Walkers, the Night's King, the whole 9 yards. But
no doubt about it. I think when you look at this story, people, I mean, really look at the story. Look at it for what it really is. You know what I mean? We have a guy who's considered to be a bastard-born person, who has now risen to Lord Commander, who has now risen to King of the North, who's going to rise some more. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you see in the story, I know everyone sees it, and I know you have seen it, and people want to say that, you know, oh, that's not what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. And there's a lot of stuff in between it and everything else to get us to this eventually destination that we're going to get in the end. But that's what it is, you know what I mean? And as I said before in the Daenerys and my a video I did with the official Blaze manga and the Daenerys Undying, Jon Snow's hooking up with Daenerys. It's going down. It's going to happen, you know what I mean? That's his Nisa. He's going to stab her. It's going down. You will see it. It's going to happen just like that, you know, and I think it's been set up like that. And that's the bittersweet ending that we're basically going to get. Is basically a situation like that is what it's going to be, you know. So that's the way I see it. That's the way I see the story. I think it's progressing into that situation. I think we've seen basically Dany straight up say that I have to marry someone. I can't be with you. I'm going there to marry. Now, who is she going to marry? Who is the eligible bachelor she's going to marry? I know people, that's not going to be Jaime Lannister, folks. Who else is there in the show? I mean, let's think about it. Who? There's only one person that she's gonna marry. It's not Tyrion. It's not Jaime. It's Jon. That's what it's been. That's what it is. I mean, the Song of Ice and Fire. This is who they are. It's going down, folks, and that's the way it's always been. So that's the way I see it. That's the way, that's the way I've always seen it.
That's most definitely what it is. Get your holy matrimony out. Get your vows out. Be at the chapel, because that's what it is. I don't know if it's going to be like that in the television show, but it's definitely going to be like that in the books. I mean, can we ship it on both mediums, Tony?
No, yeah, it's going down like that in both mediums. Especially you're confirming it more in the show, because she probably will get married again, or forced to be married, or forced to be in some type of wedding situation before she hooks up with Jon. So it may go down something with Victoria, may get the upper hand on her, and she may have to fake something before he gets burned. Now, Victoria's definitely getting burned, as Mokoro says. I see the glorious end that awaits you. That's the fire, his ass getting burnt. So it's probably a situation like that, but there's no doubt that it's gonna, Jon Snow is the one. It's gonna happen, man. You'll see. It's gonna be. It's not gonna take years or anything like that. I probably had to get. This is a Q&A. I see the questions are getting live in there. I'm sure people don't want to hear us wax poetic all night long and stuff about the episode. They probably know about it. If you want to get to a couple of questions and then go through the synopsis as we get through the questions too, we could definitely run that.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what I was about to do right now. Let's get this moving. Let's get this shaking. Put your questions in the chat. We will get to as many as we can. Let's start with an easy one. I'll throw you a soft one first. Is Melisandre headed north, Tony Teflon?
She's already north, so if she's gonna keep continuing north. Now, I said this before in the pregame show. I said if she was gonna get killed, it would have to be on the low, because I'm telling you, she's the next night's queen. There's no doubt about it to me. That it would have had to been on the low, that they do not burn her body. If not, she's got to get out of there, and she's out of there. So now she's gone, and somehow she's got to come in contact with the night's queen. Now, whether Arya runs into her again, Arya takes her out and leaves the body, but I'm telling you, folks, when it's all said and done for Melisandre, she will be resurrected as a Night's Queen. It's going down for her. That's her role in this story, and that's what her end game is going to be for her, without a doubt. To me, I don't see anything else playing out for her.
See, you see how I did that? I did that so you could slip in your theory real quick.
Well, you know.
I'm with that one.
Doubt to me, I don't see anything.
Exactly. Now, next question here. Oh, and by the way, shout out to the director, Miguel Spachnik. Beautiful-ish. God almighty. Great directorial play on this.
But I can't. And if he's doing the goddamn Iron Fist, I can't wait to see what he does with that property in Netflix on that many episodes, with the action that I've seen him give us. Now, and listen, we've seen a lot of action from him, you know what I mean? And now we got to see some dramatic stuff from him right now, and he's knocking it out the park on both cases. So I can't wait to see what this guy's got, you know what I mean? He may be the next big one. He may be the next Nolan. Nolan's the standard to me nowadays. The real standard, Steven Spielberg, is the ultimate standard. But nowadays, directors to me is Nolan. It's the guy you try to get to. And I think he could be the next Nolan.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's move on to the next question. Let's take this going. Let's pop this off. Will Sansa find out that LittleFinger betrayed Ned? If so, who will let her know?
That LittleFinger, I don't know if she really needs to find that out. Exactly. If she has enough, you know what I mean, to go on to get LittleFinger out of there. And I think the fact that she witnessed the Liza thing is really going to be the key factor that gets her out, that gets LittleFinger out of there. That's the one thing that LittleFinger fucked up on, and he's totally dependent on her keeping her mouth shut on. And I think once they hit the Vale and they get there and she just opens her mouth to who her husband, she's already betrothed to Sweet Robin, to her husband. And once she gets there and she tells her husband the deal, it's over for LittleFinger, and that's it. The bird who couldn't fly. Quote the Don.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think she's gonna find out through Varys. In my opinion, Varys going when he hits Westeros, sets foot on the sails, gets in the town. He's gonna send a Raven over to Winterfell. He's gonna lay out all the juicy details of what happened season 1. King's Landing, Janos Slint, LittleFinger, Betrayal 1.0. This is 1.0, ladies and gentlemen. This is before 2.0 Betrayal, which was the Red Wedding. This is the originator of Betrayals. This is LittleFinger, sword to the neck of Ned Stark, getting them thrown in the black cells type of betrayal, ladies and gentlemen. And Varys knows it all. He knows everything, and he will let this little girl know, especially if LittleFinger is dumb enough to stick around and stay in the North. If LittleFinger's smart, he'll get his ass up out of the North and go back to the Vale. Let's move on. Question number 2. Will Jon be king of the North in the books, Tony?
Yeah, without a doubt. As I said, you can go. I have a video. It's called How the Winds of Winter Will End, Part 2, Jon Snow, the King of Winter. Watch that video. There's no doubt. In the books, it's been, when you hear the King of Winter, and that's what I consider the King of the North is like the King of Winter to me. That's why I take it, right? So it's the same thing to me. Maybe it's not the same thing to you. If you want to get, say it's not the same title to me, it's the same title, right? So when you hear the King of Winter first mentioned, the first time that it's mentioned is with Jon Snow. And then the next time that the phrase, the term King of Winter is mentioned is with in reference towards Lyanna Stark. So when you hear those things, there was no doubt that this is his destiny. And his destiny is not that he was a bastard that rose to this. It's that he's a true-born son of Rhaegar and Lyanna. And that's what his thing's going to be. He's not a bastard. He's not a great bastard. It would make no sense to make this man a great bastard. He has to be, his parents have to, for this story. Now, in real life, doesn't matter, right? But for this story, his parents have to have been married. If he's a great bastard, that ruins everything in his story. He has to be legitimized, and that's what's going to put him over the top. And there's no way I can't see that going down.
Absolutely, absolutely. In the books, I think it's going to play out almost identical. I think he will. Either it'll happen by him defeating the Boltons, helping defeat the Boltons, or it will happen him defeating the Night's King. Either way, it'll be a crownment in Winterfell, in my opinion, in the Great Hall at Winterfell. It will be a magical dynamite type moment that'll play out the exact same way, in my opinion. I think Sansa will be at his side as well. I think it'll transpire like this because the narrative calls for it to play like this. And just like you said, both the parents got to be married. I'm assuming that George R. Martin's going to give us hints of Rhaegar and Lyanna being married in front of a weirwood tree in the next book. We're going to get something of Bran probably being able to witness this, or Howland Reed. I'm assuming Howland Reed's going to be interjected in this, Tony.
Yeah, it's no doubt. Well, if you look at the situation, let's look how it played out, right? So we have the tourney of Harrenhal. I said this in my video, the Isle of Faces, but I'll say it again. I have a lot of videos, I'm sorry. But you can see how it played out. After they had the tourney of Harrenhal, right, we have the Night of the Laughing King. Rhaegar gets sent after the Night of Laughing King. All the thing he finds is the shield and everything else and disappears, right? What happens to me, what I think happens is that Howland Reed already has a connection to the Isle of Faces whatsoever. Obviously, we see the prayers to him he gives to the Isle of Faces and stuff like that. And then that's when the Knight of the Laughing Tree comes and answers his prayer. So what I think happens is Howland Reed is the escort to bring them over there. I don't think they'd be able to have access to the Isle without Howland Reed. He's the one who gets them there. When it gets there, they get married in front of the weirwood tree. I think that's exactly the way it went down for them.
Tony, if your sister had a child that you probably assumed was a bastard, she asked you to raise this child as your own, would you do it?
There's no doubt about it. I love my sister 100%. That's without question. I would lie to anyone I would have to lie to, and it would be without. That's not even, I'd do that for anyone in my family, let alone my sister. I love my sister. Everyone knows that. Anyone who knows me knows how much I love my sister, but I would do that for people in my family. You know what I mean? That's blood. That's what this world is about. You know what I mean? Is your family. And a lot of things happen in this world, but in all honesty, blood, it's what matters, man. And not just the blood you're born with, but the blood bros that you make and sisters that you make during life. You know what I mean? That you develop bonds with too. That's just as close to you as if they were born with you. You know what I mean? I got a lot of brothers like that. If you look at my people on my Facebook and everything else, my personal, like, I don't call them my friends. I feel disrespectful to say that they're my friends. It's disrespectful for me just to say they're my friends. That's my brothers. You know what I mean? I have to say that. If I called them my friends, if they referred to me as their friend, I would be hurt. You know what I mean? Because that's how close they are to me.
Exactly. I got a brother. If this situation arose to me, I don't got a sister, but I would have to do it. I would always do something like this. Families, his blood is thicker than water. It is what it is. Ned was situated in a tough problem, but it's not a big problem because it's family. And in Westeros, you could hide something like that easily with the way bastards are in those times. So, yeah. Next question here. Where will Dany land, Tony? Will it be Casterly Rock? Will it be King's Landing? Or will it be Dragonstone?
I always thought that she would land on the first stop would be Dragonstone in the books. That's where she's stopping off first would be Dragonstone. But possibly, I don't think that they're going to show Dragonstone again in the show. So most likely she's going to go to Dawn. And she's going to work her way up from Dawn. I think Cersei has to flee. She's not going to get Cersei. She's not going to kill Cersei right there when she gets there. So Cersei will have to flee to Casterly Rock. We will see Casterly Rock before it's all said and done. So I think she's going to go right through Dawn and work her way up right then. I don't think there's going to be, I mean, you're seeing the ships get there, and you might see a little skirmish, but I don't know how much of a huge naval battle that we're going to get. I think in the books we're going to get a really nice one later on, but I don't know how much they're going to show in the show, a huge naval battle with there. I think the ships are basically mostly to get her there and then work her way up more than just to have a fight when she gets there.
Yeah, I absolutely believe we're getting Dragonstone again, ladies and gentlemen. The first stop on the show. First stop's in the books. In the books especially. She's going to go back to her ancestral home, ladies and gentlemen. There's pits for the dragons, ladies and gentlemen. There's everything a Targ would want when dropping into Westeros. It's all there for her. Dungeons, dragons, the whole 9 yards. It's her castle. It's unoccupied, unused, and it'll be hers and her most desires. I feel like this is the perfect stop for any Targaryen coming back to her roots. She ain't been there since she was a child, since she ran away. I think we're going to get the Red Door story. I think we're going to get everything.
Definitely in the book, she's going to stop there because obviously we see in the books we have a situation. Tyrells have laid siege to it and everything else. And they're all over there. Loras is injured. He's hurt on there. So as I said, it's different because in the show we have Aegon. And Aegon's going to take it first. And Dany's going to go to Dragonstone. Aegon's going to go and he's going to seize King's Landing and force Cersei out. He's going to team up with the Dornish, as I said before. And that's what we're seeing right now in the show. So I don't know if they're going to have her in the show go there. They may just forego that, you know what I mean, and just go right to her sitting right down with Dawn and coming up and taking over. But in the books, without a doubt, that she is definitely going to Dragonstone first.
Absolutely. I personally think we are going to get an amazing naval battle, just like you said. I remember how descriptive the Battle of Blackwater Bay was, the way George Martin descriptively told you how the bodies stacked up, how the sharks was eating the bodies, how the bay was bloody and black and looking crispier than a barbecue pit. I'm feeling that, and I'm feeling it 2.0 for Daenerys Stormborn, Misa, Mother of Dragons, the whole 9 yards. I think we're getting all that, and I believe Euron might be the one that she even fights with. He might tail her, he might follow her, he might come after her right in King's Landing, and it might be the way we're going to go. I think Euron's going to also ally up with Cersei if he doesn't ally up with Daario. Matter of fact, speaking of Daario, you still think Daario's one of the betrayals, Teflon?
I don't know if Daario's what I always... No, I don't know if Daario's the betrayal at all. I never really thought Daario would be the betrayal. that she was that's going to be one of her major things. It's going to be someone a little bit more closer to her. I really, you know, than him. It will be someone else that's gonna do something. That's someone she has to truly trust. I don't know if she really truly trusts the dude or anything else. I think it's gonna play out just like that. That guy didn't even put up a fight. He just said, "All right, peace, I'm out." You know what I mean? Just took it on the chin and bounced. I thought he put up a little bit of a fight, but he didn't really put up anything there at all.
Exactly.
Because you know, they took Hizdar out. You know what I mean? I think Hizdar is not. It's not the same. You know, Hizdar's bigger role to play, and it would more likely be his or anything else than it would be Dario. Most likely, you know, I would definitely more likely a betrayal be Hizdar than it would be Dario at all. Dario's just dick. You know what I mean? And that's it. And as this girl I know. I used to know, or I used to be friends, but would say she would consider that country dick. You know, country dick, she says, just big dick that don't work. Big dick that don't work is country dick. You know, city dick is small dick that do work, that makes the money. And that's what she used to always, that was her description that she used to always say, you know, and Dario would just be country dick. And that's it.
He definitely is. I feel like the possibility of him betraying it's out there in the books. I see Hizdar doing it. It'll be very interesting to see how this plays. On the show, though, he looks salty. He looks real salty. He looks like he's got kettle popcorn in his mouth. He looks like he's got yawning in his mouth and he's just mad. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I'm sure the actor's mad. His paycheck is over.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Move it back over to King's Landing. Will Jaime become a queen slayer? Teflon?
No, he's not. You know, so it's set up. Everyone would think it seems like that he is going to be the Vale and kill Cersei, but most likely what I'm looking at right now, from everything that it's seeing, it's looking like it's going to be Euron's going to choke that ass out. You know, I think that's what it is. I mean, I didn't say that before. I really thought that it would be Arya in disguise as someone. I had picked Stannis. Who I thought she would be in disguise as when I did the video. So I always thought it'd be Arya in disguise as someone that would choke her out. But it seems like if I had to go with it right now and I had to put the money on it right now, my money would definitely be on Euron's the guy to get her out of there to choke her ass out.
Yep. Well, the Vale call right now. Hold on one second. Well, the Vale prophecy to me has not been introduced on the television show, ladies and gentlemen. They have moved out of that when they did the Maggie the Frog prophecy last season, episode 1. They showed us the 3 deaths for her children. They didn't continue on the way in the book says. They didn't show us that. I believe they may. It's a possibility. They have to, in my opinion, for everyone to understand Cersei's character and what she's all about and what's driving her. Why is she so mad? Why would she kill the Tyrells? What does that lead to? So, if they do the Valonqar prophecy, I am still under the impression that it's gonna be Jaime Lannister. I originally thought it was Loras Tyrell, but if Loras Tyrell is dead on the show, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look good. So I'm gonna go to my stronger theory that it was Jaime. It is Jaime. It always was Jaime.
It seems like, you know, poetic justice would be Jaime Lannister. And if you put everything together and it had to be one person, you look at the way that it would be, you would think Jaime Lannister. But the fact, if you want to go word by word, and if that's the way that this book is written, that you really have to go word by word, the word by word is hands. Jaime only has one hand. And when you look at this new chapter that came out, now I just did a video on it, and I kind of misspoke a little bit on it, but I think people got the gist of what I was saying. When you look at the new chapter and you see Euron's prophecy that he's having, and you see it, and he says the chick that's standing next to her has pale white hands. If you see the Cersei prophecy, it's her pale white throat that's supposed to be choked. So we have 2 pale white connections right here, and those connections that I've only heard anything is definitely Cersei. So it's Cersei we know has the pale white throat that's supposed to be choked. We hear in Euron pale white hands of her mistress that's right next to him. We see how Euron takes out this one chick that's supposed to have his baby in him in the chapter. So when you go through all that and the way he kills chicks, it's quite possible that he in the end will kill her too. and sacrifice her to the gods.
Exactly. This next question is about Arya. Is Arya going to meet up with Mel? I don't know if you remember season 3 when Mel and Arya met up with the Brotherhood Without Banners. Melisandre told her, "You will have green eyes, you will have blue eyes. Black eyes you shall have. Eyes you will close forever." What did you interpret that to mean, Teflon?
Yeah, from what it seems like from what the show is that Arya and Mel will have to see each other at least one more time. You know what I mean? So whether it's Arya that takes her out, Arya in disguise, that could be it. Maybe that she does run into the Brotherhood Without Banners, Mel. Maybe she heads into him, she runs into him, and somehow Arya takes him out. I can't call it. I don't know exactly how that's gonna run, but what it seems like she's gonna run into. I think that we're not gonna. I think a lot of times we're gonna see Arya is gonna be as a different person for different episodes. You're gonna see her. She's not just gonna have that one face. I'm telling you, she's gonna be in multiple faces, and people may complain that she's killing people or how she's getting these faces, but they're not gonna care about that. She's gonna be in multiple faces at different times, and she's gonna be showing up, and she's gonna be whacking people. So if you see Melisandre roll into the Brotherhood Without Banners at the end, or something like that, and there's someone coming to clean her chamber pot, it's Arya. That's the way it's going down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any new person that I see in a scene next season, I'm thinking it's Arya. And that's a game changer, ladies and gentlemen. You could be anywhere in the world. You could be anywhere, and Arya could be digging in that ass. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Just face off, face off, face off. Mr. Miyagi style. Wax on, wax off. That's all Arya has to do next season, and it's disgusting. If she just walks into any person that goes into a scene that's not recognized as a character that we know could be Arya, and that's how I'm going to take it. That's an assassin, ladies and gentlemen. I always thought that Arya would be some sort of Ghost of High Heart type of deal. She'd be a woods witch. She'd be an assassin for hire, chilling in the Riverlands, asking for trouble, asking to whoop people's asses and take care of business. I never thought she'd be a lady. She ain't going to be no lady. She ain't birthing no kids. She ain't having no midwives. And that's what it is. What you think her future is going to be, Teflon?
Well, I think Arya's future, I think, is the opposite of what people have thought. People have thought that she was some killer. She was this person that wanted to be a killer and everything else. I think Arya, when I look at Arya, I think of her as type of like a samurai warrior. And when you are a samurai warrior or a person or it's someone that it's like a walking tour, out for justice, Steven Seagal, time to kill type situation. And when these people get thrusted into these roles, after they're done with their role and their killing, they go back to living their normal life like they wanted to. And I think that's what's going to happen to her. I think she's going to get done with this stuff and she's out the door. I think she's going to be like Nymeria. She's out. We've seen it. I have a video on it. You see it. I put it out there. The Arya Stark, Princess of Dawn, the Sand Wolf. And you know what I mean? You will see it, and you see she's going to take off and start and start discovering something else. That's what her plan is going to be. But I do believe that eventually it's possible for her to have family and care about people and everything else and all that. She's not some renegade. I don't think it's like that. I think eventually she wants that type of lifestyle.
For the people in the chat, I most definitely think Arya is meeting up with Jon and Sansa. I don't know if it'll be next season, but I definitely think Arya has a part to play in the Long Night. I believe her skills and her magic, her faceless man attributes will be something that will be used against the Night King. I don't know if it'll be immediately, but I think we'll get that payoff. The lone wolf dies, but the pack survives, ladies and gentlemen. That should be the Stark words, but the Stark words will always be, winter is coming and it is here. Let's give a little backstory here. Before we jump back into these questions, you know what I mean? We don't got to knock these out one by one. We can chill back. We can breathe. We can talk. We can enjoy the episode. Let's go back to Sam at the Citadel. My God, when all the white ravens were swooping, ooh, 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 when they was leaving the Citadel, that was so gorgeous. You just imagine all the birds going to different lords. Tell me what you liked about the scene, Teflon.
It was beautiful. It's probably one of the most beautiful scenes I've ever seen in all Game of Thrones. The Citadel was probably better than I would ever imagine. It just looked a lot. I mean, I've been to big libraries, especially in Manhattan and everything else. I think the biggest library I've ever been to was in Manhattan. Well, it wasn't one in Brooklyn that was pretty big too, but the one in Manhattan was crazy. And this was just like a library, you know, that you always dream to go into. It looks like there's every answer for everything in there if you just take the time to find it. You know, and there was multiple people in there. It was just great that they showed different people in there. You know, unlike the House of Undying, you know, the House of Black and White, where Arya's out, and there's no, you know, one person, two people in the whole place. They should have showed people milling around in the background and stuff. So it was beautiful. I love the way it played. I know people thought, oh, it was a little filler here and there, but trust me, it's very important for Sam to be there. That's why they showed it. They're only showing things in the show that's really important for the books. And that's the reason why Sam's there. He has something that he's getting something from there. They cut out a lot of other stuff, but they didn't cut that out. And there's a reason why.
Absolutely, absolutely. There will be knowledge in the Citadel. There will be something to kill the White Walkers and the Night's King with. There's knowledge, there's septs, there's maesters, there's everything you need. This is where you get information, ladies and gentlemen. You don't always got to kill something with a sword. You can use the sword that is your mind to defeat the Long Night and the Night's King. This is what it's for. That's what the greatest library in this world is all about. Personally, this thing looked like a Mormon temple to me. There's this Mormon temple out here in Alexandria, right outside D.C., that looks just like that. Coming out the sky, looked amazing. Looked just fantabulous. All right, let's move on. Let's give a little bit of context back to the north. Let's talk about LittleFinger, Sansa, Jon, the triangle that is. You can see the showrunners are trying to set up a plot for next season. You can see that Sansa, Jon, they're trying to build the conflict up. I think Sansa's going to stiff arm LittleFinger all the way back home next season. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Do you think the showrunners will continue with the Sansa, Jon plot point problems?
Yeah, I think, well, when you look at the story of Sansa and Arya from the beginning, from whatever it is, and I said before that they're both identity. It's identity issues. You see Sansa quick just want to give away her Stark identity. You see that she wanted to marry Joffrey. You see that she was taking her hair and making it look like a Southern person as much as she could. She did not want to have anything to do with the Starks, and she tried to get away from that. And then she realizes that the best thing about her was the fact that she was from the North and she is Sansa Stark, and that's who she has regained herself. And Arya Stark has never not wanted to be a Stark, but she had to hide her identity of being a Stark to get back to being a Stark. And I think that's eventually where they're both going to wind up. So I think that Sansa is 100% Stark committed. So there's no way she's going to turn on Jon at all. You know, it's her and Jon ride or die. LittleFinger, as I said, it's a wrap for him. She's playing LittleFinger right now. It may not look like it. It may look like he's saying stuff to her that giving him the upper hand. But in reality, it's really her just soaking that in until she can strike. And it'll be very quick next season. I don't think LittleFinger will make it through the 4th episode.
Yeah, I think this cliffhanger they left us on with Jon and Sansa beefing because of LittleFinger, this is all a mute point. LittleFinger, in my opinion, is a goner. He's a dead man. He's a corpse in the ground. Build a cemetery. Build it around him. He doesn't exist next season. The Night's King is coming, ladies and gentlemen. The Long Night, the Northern Winds, Beric Dondarrion, the Brotherhood Without Banners. Everything's commencing in the North because the Night's King is here. Okay? LittleFinger, his scheming, his plotting, none of that matters no more. No politics, no games. We're going to be talking about magic and mermaids. Mermaids and dragons next season. We don't care about the politics of this shit. All right? LittleFinger's a goner. He's a dunzo. In my opinion, this was the biggest thing LittleFinger will ever do. Now, let's talk about LittleFinger giving up the goodies. Tony, he gave up the end game. Did you ever think LittleFinger would give up the end game? And if you did, do you believe the end game is going to come strong for LittleFinger trying to get to the Iron Throne?
It's funny because the actor who plays LittleFinger, when he was asked this question on the red carpet, he said specifically that he thought that LittleFinger's whole motivation was to be the man behind the throne and not actually sit on the Iron Throne. And then we get this thing that he's saying he wants to be on the Iron Throne. You know, I don't know if that's Littlefinger in the books. From everything I've seen of Littlefinger in the books, he does not want to be on the throne itself. He wants to be the man behind the throne, more of a hand of the king type situation that's actually the whole power. I don't think he wants to be the lightning rod that takes the hit. I think he wants to be the guy behind the lightning rod, behind the curtain. I don't think he wants to be the wizard. He wants to be the man behind the curtain. So, it's weird that he would say that in the show and put it all out there like that. But no, he played his hand too much, too big, and it's over for Littlefinger, as I said. But I don't think it's going down like that in the books.
Maybe he was doing it to impress Sansa. Who the hell knows? But that's going to be something that we will see next season. I don't think he'll be a power, but it is what it is. Let's jump back into the questions. Now that the crown is broke, the Lannisters are broke, how will Cersei afford a war with Dany? Teflon?
You know, they've really, I mean, they've addressed a little bit of the Lannisters' problems with money, but but I think that they have the money. They have Tyrell's money. Tyrell, I mean, I think people may think. I think that the House Tarley's going to side with Cersei. I think she's going to offer them all of Tyrell's land because they don't have any heirs to take it over, and I think she could get that. I don't know if they're really going to deal with the financial issue in the books in the show anymore. I don't even know if we're going to deal with finance in the show anymore. And it's a big deal in the books because the books are realistic, and you had to touch on all those things. But in the show, we really haven't seen too much money having to play a role in anything because of anything. You know, we've seen Stannis get the loan from the Iron Bank. We know in the books is a much different situation, and that loan is going to pay off. And he has someone off with that money than just the troops that they have. They show Stannis that just gets wiped out in the north. So I don't really know if they're going to touch on it. I think that's just something that they'll probably just 100% overlook in the show.
Yep, somebody owes the bank always gets his due. The show glanced over it. The show went past it. Mace Tyrell went to go talk to the Bravosi bankers, and Mace Tyrell is dead, ladies and gentlemen. So who's going to pay that loan back? Who the hell knows? Let's get off to the next question, and that will be, will Euron and Jon ever meet? Teflon?
Of course, Euron's got Jon's armor. That Valyrian steel armor that we see that Euron's going to be wearing, Jon Snow will definitely put that on him before he fights the Night's King. So he will meet without a doubt. They will definitely meet without a doubt. You know what I mean? And definitely will go down. I think that, it's quite possible that if Euron's on Dragonback, that Jaime Lannister is the one that killed the dragon. I think that Jaime Lannister will, that title that Jaime Lannister has as Kingslayer will be removed. It has to be removed to something. I think Dragon Slayer makes ideal sense for it to be removed too. So, but I do believe that they will definitely meet Euron and Jon Snow.
For the people that don't know, for the people that haven't gotten that far in the books, give a little context on the armor, Teflon.
Yeah, so basically when we see the Forsaken chapter at the end of it, Euron reveals that he really has been to Valyria by coming out in full plate black and red Valyrian steel plated armor. From head to toe, it has red glyphs all within it. So there's no doubt to me that this is something that obviously we've seen that what the White Walkers can do to regular armor, what their weapons do to regular swords. So obviously Jon Snow is going to need protection. And obviously, I think this will be the protection that he needs. We also have a chapter that we see Jon Snow. He has a dream of himself on top of the wall, clad in black armor with the flaming sword of Azor Ahai, and he chops down an Ygritte when she's coming up in white form. So I think that you're going to see a situation that happens like that, and this is that black armor that he had on in that dream.
Exactly. Yep, that armor is strong. That armor is needed. Valyrian steel armor, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go on to the next one. Will Bran expose some of the lies, some of the truths of Littlefinger? Teflon?
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to get down to that far. I mean, Littlefinger, is an important player, but not at that. And Bran's storyline is dealing with the White Walkers, Jon Snow, birthright. That's his thing. I don't know if he goes over to deal with a Littlefinger type situation or anything like that. I think he's going to be tied up in that. Anytime you see Bran, it's going to be in association with that. So I don't think it'll be anything to do with Littlefinger.
Exactly. I don't think Bran's doing anything political. I don't think Bran's doing anything else other than being mysterious. That's what Bran is for. On the television show, they need Bran to give us the flashbacks because there's no way to go through people's fever dreams. In the books, we get fever dreams. We get all sorts of stuff to go back in time. But Bran on the television show is the perfect medium to get us everything we need. Next question. Well, first of all, let's do the Tower of Joy. We got a lot of people in the chat want us to talk about this.
Wait, real quick. Someone says, man, what's Jamie said? He said, "Damn, ignore my question." What question did Jamie ask? Let's answer his question because
that was his. That's what I was reading, and I was like, what does he mean? Because he wrote, "Do you think Bran will be the one to expose Littlefinger to Jon and Sansa?" And I tried to ask that question on the last one. I don't know if you caught it right or I said it wrong, but basically he's asking us, is Bran going to expose Littlefinger to Jon and Sansa? And, you know, you gave your answer. I said he's not, Bran's not getting involved. So.
Yeah, I don't see that happening at all. I don't think Littlefinger, what's going down with Littlefinger's demise, when it happens, Littlefinger will not be beat with violence. He'll be beat the way he's been played everybody else. That's the way it goes down for him. That's the way it goes down for a lot of people in this show. You know what I mean? So if you're the best sword fighter, you will be beat in a sword fight. And I think that's the way it's going to go down. He will be beaten in a way in a political way, in a scheming way. He'll be out schemed and outmaneuvered, and that's how his end comes. He's not going to get killed by Brienne or get challenged to a duel. And so I'm not going to go down like that.
Exactly. Well, let's get at people what they want. They want me. They want you. They want breakdown, Tower of Joy. Let's start it from the top. Let me do a quickie synopsis. We see Ned. We see Bran. We see Ned look back. They gave us the Easter egg from episode 2 or 3 when Bran calls to Ned. Ned looks back. They gave us that again to show us that Bran can manipulate time, space, continuums, paradoxes, the whole 9 yards. We get Ned going upstairs. We get Ned putting the sword on the table. We see Dawn. We see the mythical sword of Arthur Dayne, King's Guard to Mad King Aerys. We see Lyanna Stark sweating and heaving. We see blood all over her. We get Ned hollering, pleading, apologizing. He talks to his sister. She lets him know. She says, "Promise me, Ned. Promise me, Ned." She asks him, "Don't let Robert know." She tells him again, "Don't let Robert know. He'll kill him." Ned looks over to the left. We see two maids in the room. We see 2 milkmaids in the room. One could possibly be Wyla. They're witnesses to the event. They're witnesses to the christening. We get the baby. We get Ned. We get the Jon Snow reveal. And just so y'all know, we got Dawn, which is a bleeding star of House Dayne, ladies and gentlemen, the sword. Jon Snow born under a bleeding star the same way Dany was born under the bleeding comet. Jon is Azor Ahai. Confirmation. Hint, hint. Teflon. Break it down.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. If anyone didn't think Jon was Azor Ahai, it should spell it out for you. First, you have the sword of Dawn leaning up against the bed, and then we have the birth of Jon Snow in the Tower of Joy. So this is what it means. Now, it means to me that I'm telling you that this sword is most likely going to be inside that crypt. I think that's why they're showing this sword right here, Dawn, is the sword that is Lightbringer. That's what it is. Jon Snow will get his hands on this sword. It's probably in the Crypt of Winterfell, in Lyanna's tomb. It'll probably show that in the show. And then you will see Jon pull it out. He will stab Daenerys with that sword. That stone will burst into flames. She will die. He will jump on top of a dragon, probably Drogon at that particular time, because I think his dragon will probably get killed at that time. He will probably, after Daenerys gets killed, and he kills Daenerys, and he stabs her with the sword, and she sacrifices herself, he'll probably have to take Drogon himself. And then he'll have to go after the Night's King and take him out. But that's most likely where it's going to go down. But as for that, but let me go more into it a little bit. Yes, I do believe that that was Weiler. Probably it has to be. Why not let it be? That should have been Weiler in there. And I think that's the story that we all thought it would be. You know, as I said, it was nice for people to come up with the Daenerys situation. It was very compelling and everything else. Also, all the situations where Shara Dane being Jon Snow, all that stuff. That's all great stuff, but I think this is what it always was, and I think everyone knew it. I just think that it got to the point that I think when everyone knows everything and it's not fun anymore, so you have to start overthinking it, and I think that's what happened here with this. It just got to the point where it wasn't fun anymore. You know, I think that if everyone would have came out with the hold the door situation all those years ago, people would have came up with a bunch of other theories for that name and not that, as they have already. So that's what I think about it.
Yep, it was a christening of baby Jesus, ladies and gentlemen. The prince that was promised. Everything was solidified. Everything was told. Teflon, did you focus on Lyanna giving Jon his name, possibly Jaehaerys? Do you think that's a possibility?
You know, I'm not a lip reader, you know, and I hear this thing. She definitely, I mean, we hear him, you know, he. So I hope that's dumb. You know, he says Robert will kill him. We know Ned. So we know, I don't want to hear no, that's not Jon. We know it's Jon, right? So that's that. It could be a name. I don't know what name it is that he gave him, but Bran didn't hear it either, it seems like. So I don't think any will ever find out in the show like now. Or maybe that's something purposely they said they left for George to reveal in the books, which would be nice.
That would be nice. I would love for the show to reveal it first and not the television show. I would love it for it to be revealed in the book first. It has to be done that way. They've got to get a. It has to be, ladies and gentlemen. That's where the cookies and the grits are. That's where the sweet, spoilery stuff is, and we need it that way. Well, let's move back into the Q&A. We got every question that we got. We will answer everything we can.
Oh,
let's see here.
Hold on 1 second, home. Someone's at my door.
All right. Well, I will go back and talk about the Tower of Joy. I thought this scene was brilliant. I thought everything that they could do was great. The actress, she did her part. Imagine getting paid to just sit on the bed and say, promise me Ned. She did it right. She did it how it was supposed to be. Everything about her and Ned, the chemistry, loved it. The way they switched from the baby to Jon Snow effortlessly. They didn't need to put too much in the scene. They just needed to let us know the situation, and it was done right, in my opinion. I don't think you could have done it any other way to reveal to us who Jon Snow is and what he's about. Everything about that scene was great. And personally, the two wet nurses, the maids, this is something for the future. Is Howland Reed and the wet nurses that were in the room going to let Jon Snow know his parentage? Are they the ones to reveal it? Ned's dead, Lyanna's dead, Rhaegar's dead, Arthur Dayne's dead, Went's dead. Everybody that was there is dead except Howland Reed and the wet nurses. On the show, they haven't shown us anything about the importance of wet nurses and how they convey messages, how they're there for the lords and ladies that they serve. Howland Reed, he's got to make an appearance. That's the importance of Howland Reed. He still hasn't even shown up in the books, ladies and gentlemen. If you think that Howland Reed's shown up in the books, he hasn't. So don't worry that he hasn't shown up in the show.
No doubt. What's up? What's up? I got a package left at my door.
Yeah, Teflon packages. That's what it is. He probably got a Funko Pop. The man has toys, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, you want to see if we can do an unboxing real quick if you want. I give you a quick unboxing of what came up in here real quick.
For real though, Funko Pop, addicted as hell.
See what it is right here. Oh, there it is. We can see real quick. It is actually it's my books have my new copies of my book. The book I did with Deontay Wilder, the heavyweight champion of the world. I just got my last shipment in for him. So as I said, I will autograph this children's book for you. My first subscriber to our new channel, and I will send this right out to you. Just hit me up on my Facebook.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, me and Teflon, we got a new channel. We're going to be doing some new stuff, new work. It's going to be other stuff other than Game of Thrones. We're going to be doing podcast, radio work. We're going to be talking pop culture, life, news, everything.
Yes, sir.
On this side of the planet. Give them a little synopsis, Teflon.
No doubt, it's a pop culture channel. You know what I mean? We'll be talking all viral stories. We'll be talking stories in the news. We'll be talking sports. Anything that is hitting for that week, we would definitely be giving our opinion on that. And you know what I mean? Movie reviews, all that good stuff. We're going to talk about everything. Anything you could think of. It's most likely just like a morning talk show type situation, you know what I mean? Like Howard Stern or like Buck Wild and them, you know what I mean? The way it used to be like that. So you went to anything like that and you just want to hear our opinions, me, Moji, Laura Evans, Street Talk New York, New Yorkers talking shit, you know, about all this stuff. And it's podcast style show. So that's the way it'll be. You won't see us on it and stuff. But as I said, on YouTube, when we talk about a situation, like I'll give you one of the stories we will be talking about and we will be addressing on the first episode is the Jay Leno crash. We will definitely be talking about Jay Leno and him crashing his dumbass and himself on his car show. So that's one of the stories we'll be talking about. And when we're talking about that story, I will show you the footage of that going down. But that's basically what it's all about. So Street Talk New York, Street Talk NY on YouTube. Go subscribe to that. Make
sure y'all tune in. It's tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Moji, Teflon TV, Tony T.
One second, people have asked, and of course, I guess I thought everyone knew this, but I guess maybe people don't know this one. Dan asked, "Am I the writer?" So yes, so this book I have right here. I'm the writer. I wrote this children's book for Deontay Wilder, the heavyweight champion of the world. Right? He is the heavyweight champion of the world. This is his children's book. I wrote this. It's has Dan Monroe is the one who illustrated. It's put out by Pencilwork Publishing. It's available on BarnesandNoble.com and Amazon.com and everything else like that. And, but I thought everyone knew that. But just in case people didn't know that, you could definitely find the book there and everything else.
That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We drop knowledge out here. We give back to the kids out here. We give to the peoples. We do it for the children. We do it for us. Now, y'all got what we do. Tony T, Teflon TV, Moji, the dynamic duo, Barbarians, ladies and gentlemen. Barbarians. Let's get back to the Thrones talk. Teflon, let's go and talk about the North. It's cold up north. The cold winds are rising. Do you believe Benjen is an agent of the Night's King?
In the show, no. In the show, no. Yeah, so Cold Hands in the books, yes. I do believe that Cold Hands in the books, I believe that it's definitely that Blood Raven definitely has something to do with the Night's King, without a doubt. Don't trust Blood Raven. He's not what they showed him in the show. He's not that dude in the books at all. He's got his own agenda. And I'm telling you, Blood Raven is not just going to sit idly by in the books and just die and just not try to escape that tree. Trust me, I do believe that Blood Raven will try to switch personalities with somebody and get himself out of that tree before he goes down. And I know George R. R. Martin's a big comic book fan. And I remember seeing that in the Fantastic Four comic book with Dr. Doom. I think he was fighting a Herald of Galactus. I think it was the one who could control the Earth. And he froze Silver Surfer, fused Dr. Doom's armor and left him in place. And he couldn't move. And that's how Dr. Doom survived. He moved his brain into a different person's brain, switched brains with him, and the other person died in his body, and Dr. Doom escaped. And I do believe that he's going to try to do some situation like that.
You see these topics, ladies and gentlemen, we're out here talking about comic books. This is what it's all about. Me and Tony, we do all sorts of things. It ain't always got to be about Thrones. It ain't always got to be about Thrones. Y'all can hang out. We do what it do.
Well, everyone takes things from things. You know what I mean? I think that it's hard to make 100% original work because everyone's influenced. You get influenced by everything you grew up in. And George R. R. Martin was a big comic book fan, a huge comic book fan, loves comic books, and why wouldn't you? Everyone should love comic books. And so there's no way you're not going to take something that you loved as a child or something that you've seen and put your spin on it. And I think this is a way of that's what everyone does. That's what makes things work in life, you know what I mean? So I think that's what he's doing in a couple of situations.
Exactly. Now let's knock this next one out. Who will be the character to bring Dany and Jon together? Will it be circumstances or will it be a particular character? Teflon?
You got Tyrion is a link between them all, right? If you put Tyrion right there, that links everything up together. It links Dany, it links Sansa, it links Jon. Tyrion's met them all. He's the one who knows them all, right? So he's the one who has a relationship just about with everyone. Tyrion is the glue, the chain that brings them all together.
Yup, me personally, I think it'll be Samwise Gamgee. It'll be Sam the Slayer, the main man in Old Town. He'll take Heartsbane on the show. He'll take it over, and he's going to get caught up by Euron. He's going to get Heartsbane over to Euron. But first, he's got to see Dany. I don't know how it's going to work. People told me I was crazy to think that this wouldn't happen. I personally believe it will. Heartsbane isn't just going to marinate somewhere. Somebody's got to get it. I think Dany's getting it through Euron, but she'll defeat him. Personally, Sam is a link between these two people. He knows Jon, and he knows about Dany. He's not a major link like Tyrion, the way Tony just broke it down. He doesn't know them. He doesn't know Dany. But in my opinion, the way Aemon broke it down to Sam at the castle, the letters he wrote, Aemon Targaryen believed in Azor Ahai was Dany. He believed that was her. Sam wrote and listened to letters for Aemon Targaryen when he was his steward at the Castle Black. I believe Sam will continue the work and contact her.
Yeah, I think Sam's big role here. There's a couple of it's so much more because we have the whole faceless man situation that leads over to Old Town dealing with in the books, and they've completely wiped that out from what we've seen so far. So whatever their plan was, that's going to happen, it quite possibly may not be successful or that important later on in the books. But what Sam is doing there, what he finds, what he's looking for is what's important. Or they might just give that stuff to Sam, some of it, you know what I mean? Like they have been giving stuff to people. So, I think that Sam, as I said, he's going to find the cure to grayscale. I think that's his thing. That's going to be his role. He's going to figure out some situation like that. I think they have all they need to beat the White Walkers. I don't think that they need to know. They know Valyrian Steel beats them, and they know Wildfire beats the White. So I think the only other thing to solve is going to be maybe a break out of it or something. I think in the books, no doubt that grayscale is going to break out more than just 1 or 2 people. I think it's going to be a much more bigger problem than it is. But I think Sam's the guy to cure that.
All right, next one. The Night's King grabbed Bran's arm. I christened it Frost Scale, ladies and gentlemen. I christened it Frost Scale on his arm. Teflon, will the Frost Scale affect Bran from crossing below the wall?
I don't think it's going to affect him from crossing beyond the wall, but I think that's the reason they're going to give that. They're going to say that the Night's King can cross beyond the wall or knock the wall down. And as we can see, that Bran went inside the tree, and it was in the tree. He went with his ass. The Night's King walked right through the whatever magic they had right in there and went in there. I've told people this before. When you really look at the situation, let's look at the situation of the Night's King. I mean, obviously, this Night's King that we see here is not the same Night's King in the book. They're combining characters, all right? Because we know 13th Lord Commander is a Night King. But when the 13th Lord Commander was there ruling at the Night Fort, the thing that made the Night Fort special compared to the other castles is that the Night Fort was the only castle that was carved directly into the wall. The steps of the Night Fort that led into the bed chambers and everything else was all into the walls, all a piece of the wall, a piece of the ice. He lived there for 13 years in the wall itself, so it didn't do anything to him. He was in there chilling. So what with the Knights when they were all chilling there 13 years, people? So the wall doesn't have anything like that that's going to prevent him when he's on that side. So I think once he gets through Bran walks through the wall with that thing, that's what they're going to use to allow the Night's King to shatter it in the show and bring his army through. It'll be Bran's fault.
Absolutely, absolutely. I do not think the Night's King is going to take the whole wall down. We all believe it'll be the sucker punch, the jacker punch onto the ground, open up a little hole so all the minions can come through, and he heads down.
Yeah.
Do you believe that'll be next season, Teflon, or you think they'll wait till season 8?
You know, I was 100% wrong about this one. I ain't afraid to admit it. I thought this wall was coming down this season. I 100%. You couldn't tell me shit. I was 100% was for sure that this wall was dropping this season. Even when I heard the leak and the way the leak said, oh, everyone turned their head and looked, it sounded so perfect to me. I 100% bought it. 100%. Lock, stock, and barrel. They had me. Thought it was dropping, and it didn't. I was 100% wrong about it. But so I have to say that it's got to drop next season. What are they waiting for? They can't wait too much longer on this. You know what I mean? It's got to be the end of next season. The wall has to fall. At least by the end of next season. There's no other way around.
Absolutely. I thought the wall would fall too. I was shocked it didn't happen. They gave us so many goodies. They gave us the King of the North. They gave us Frey pies. They gave us Walder Frey. They gave us Danny and the Ironborn, and they didn't give the wall though. So I'm shocked. I was surprised. I can't wait to see it. The CGI, the whole 9 yards. That's going to be intricate to next season. I believe the whole White Walker story is going to be nothing but the season 7. And that's what it is. I believe that Danny and Jon may collide by switching stories. Danny may come to the north. Jon may go to King's Landing. If that happens, the internet will break. That's called internet breaking, shatter breaking material, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on. Let's go to another question, unless you want to talk about internet breaking thing predictions for next season, Teflon.
I don't think we got one this season. I don't think anything that happened in that last episode broke the internet. And I don't think that the R+L thing broke the internet. I don't think the King of the North thing broke the internet. I don't think anything like that. So, you know, it's got, as I said before, when I look at these things, and from the way Dan and Dave has put them out about these earth-shattering moments, or the earth-shattering moments, when they both happen, when I see it, the thing that is common to me is that it happened to innocent persons. You know, you had Shireen get burnt, and then you have Hodor go down. Only innocent people I see I left in the show, there's not many. You know, Sam, Brienne. Brienne's not innocent. She is a traitor to Stannis Baratheon. But as for the show, they may say she's innocent. When you look at Sam, Brienne, when you look at people like that, maybe something devastating could happen to them, something that we don't see coming that would break it. That would have to be something crazy like that. It's got to be something that's going to make you sad. That's what breaks the internet. Not, you know, it's sad, crazy shit. You know, it's not happy stuff. It's always got to be something that's terrible.
The closest thing to that was probably Hodor, the hold the door situation this season that almost broke the internet. If you had a 56K AOL connection, it definitely would have broke it, but not no DSL or cable, ladies and gentlemen.
I tell you what, the Shireen burning still is, the Hodor thing is sad to me, but the Shireen burning is worse to me. That's still, I don't watch that at all, that scene. Even when I do my videos, and I don't put that clip in there. I just put the picture in there. And the reason why I don't put the video clip in there, I don't want to see it. I hate that scene. That's still, to me, the worst scene. That's worse than Hodor, to me, Shireen getting burnt.
Absolutely. Well, Teflon, it's about that time. It just flew by. It's 7:30. Let's deal with one more question.
No doubt.
Wrap it up. Time flies when you're having fun, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this comes from the depths. Will Jon ever believe to represent the Targaryen nature, that side of his family? Or will he always believe he is a Stark inside and outside? Will he ever basically show Targaryen traits? Show Targaryen mannerisms, act like a Targ, talk like a Targ, name his babies Targaryens? Will anything of that nature ever happen, Teflon?
No, he'll. I mean, if you're gonna, he'll embrace the fact that he's a Targaryen. Yes, but I still think even when he finds out Rhaegar is his father, he still will think of Ned Stark as his father, and that's the way he was raised. He's raised, that's what it is. It's like Rhaegar is the sperm donor, but Ned Stark is his father, the man who raised him, and that's the way he's always gonna act. So he will accept his heritage as a Targaryen, his bloodline as a Targaryen, but you'll never see him behave as such. He's always going to be the wolf in him that you're going to see. It's never going to see him be what a Targaryen, what people would describe as a Targaryen behavior be, a Viserys, a Rhaegar, a snobby type person, political. No, he's always going to be a more mountain man, outdoor type of a dude, more than a Wall Street type cat.
Exactly, and if there's anything Targ about John, it's definitely that he's emo. He's emo, folks. He doesn't play the flute, but he plays the sword. But he is emo, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's our time. We do what it do. We do what we love. Moji, Teflon TV, back at it again. We'll be here again tomorrow doing the new show, the new radio, the new podcast, Cultural Beings, Street Talk New York. Teflon.
Yes. Yeah, we'll be doing that, but it won't be live, people. So you know what I mean. I mean, we'll be doing it, but you won't. It'll probably be up Monday, Sunday. Get a shot. It'll probably be up Monday. Every Monday and every Friday will probably be episodes, 2 episodes a week, an hour long each episode, and then each episode will also the hour will be broken into 6 10-minute segments too on top of that. So either way you want to digest it, it'll be there for you to digest. You know what I mean? So it won't be live, but maybe one day when we get everything straightened out, we can have a live show and stuff like that if it gets pretty popular. You know what I mean? So check that out, Street Talk New York. If you into, just like I said, anything that, what's going on in the entertainment world or anything like that, or anything that's going on in movies or pop culture or anything like that, that's what we're going to be talking about. Sports and movies or anything that goes on that week, we will give our opinion on that. And it's Tony Teflon the Don, without a doubt, Moji, and Laura Evans.
Yeah, my bad. Folks, it's not live. We will get it up to you as soon as we can. Just subscribe to the new channel, Street Talk New York, Street Talk NY. Me and Tony will continue to do our thing. I don't know what the game plan is for this week. We'll have it up. We'll do our thing. Our team is strong. The game is strong. Moji, Teflon TV. We will have
let me answer this. No doubt. Let me answer this question. This guy came in real quick about Tyson Fury. Now, all this stuff like this, I will have these type of segments, and we have a sports segment on New York Talk, Street Talk New York, and I'll be talking more like about that. But Tyson Fury is obviously the man backed out because he's not in shape. He didn't look in shape the last time I seen him. The last couple of times I seen him, and he's not going to win this fight versus Klitschko. I can't see him beating Klitschko. I wish he would. It's better for boxing that he does win this fight. But in all honesty, I think Tyson Fury is going to get knocked out this fight.
Yes, indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Teflon, if you ain't got nothing else to say, we're going to wrap this Q&A up. We'll hope to be back with you next week with something brand new. Teflon, last words.
No doubt. Even though I'm doing those Street Talk New York, check that out. Teflon TV will still be going strong. We ain't stopping there. We still doing our Game of Thrones every week, and we're doing everything I always do on there. It's just a place for me to have other things I have to say. I don't want to put on Teflon TV anymore, because I don't want to confuse people. So I got a lot of other things, a lot of other stuff to talk about. So we moving it over there, and I got partners in it too. You know what I mean? So I had to move it to a different channel. But Teflon TV, the Don Tony Teflon, we still doing it on Game of Thrones the way we always doing. Ain't nothing changing. You know what I mean? So please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Subscribe to Mo's channel. You know what I mean? And until next time, you know how we do. Peace and stay sexy, baby.
Exactly. Nightland Show, we out. Moji King of the North, we out. Teflon TV, we out.